As we approach the gravitational plane, we will continue to experience severe weather and ecological effects such as earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, and volcanic activity with increased frequency and intensity. As we penetrate the densest portion of the galactic plane and experience the full gravitational effects, we may witness unprecedented solar flares, unexpected meteor showers, and one or more geographical pole shifts. Subsequently, unexpected celestial objects may pass through the solar system, as they too are influenced by the gravitational plane. This may account for the ancient records describing several past worldwide catastrophes accompanied by passing bodies, comets, or what some researchers today refer to as Planet X. So if these ancient civilizations knew what was coming over the horizon, due to cyclic patterns and scientific calculations we have lost through one of history's gaps, then what exactly was it that they knew? Even if pole shifts take place in a cyclic pattern, they don't occur on their own. Something has to cause them. Something so predictable and blatant that the Mayans, Aztecs, Incas, and Egyptians all saw it coming. Since a geographical pole shift would most likely result in a permanent change in the axis of the Earth, the effects would also have immediate implications on global climate, causing new weather patterns and regional temperature changes. Places that were once desert might now be plush, or areas that were once abundant with vegetation and life may become a frozen wasteland, areas like Antarctica.
Recently, scientists have discovered huge petrified forests underneath the ice in Antarctica. These trees have grown as high as 80 feet and have leaves, which is indicative of warm climate trees. This, without a doubt, shows us that this region was once very warm and swarming with life. Compounding evidence tells us that these pole shifts occurred quickly, very quickly, but we are just now beginning to understand how quickly an unexpected and massive geological changes can actually occur.
On September 26, 2005, geologist Derija Ayulu and his colleagues from Addis Ababa University were conducting research on the desert plain in central Ethiopia when an unexpected earthquake hit the area. In a matter of seconds, the small geological research team had just witnessed history in the making. For the first time in modern history, human beings were able to witness and record the first stages in the birth of a new ocean, an ocean that quickly will split Africa apart. In recent months, hundreds of new crevices have formed to help split the desert floor, and the ground has now slumped by as much as 328 feet. The ground continues to sink, which will begin accumulating water from the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden.
John Major Jenkins is a researcher and scholar on the history of the Mayan Indians of Mexico. He has successfully proven in his book, Maya Cosmogenesis 2012, that they were aware of the center of the galaxy and of its importance in Earth's history.
I looked into the Maya mythology, the Popol Vuh, the hero twin myth, and I was able to identify certain astronomical features that seemed to be important to the ancient Maya, one of which is the Maya sacred tree. And following some clues by Maya scholars in decoding the Maya writing, the Maya sacred tree is the crossing point formed by the Milky Way and the ecliptic. Now, this was very interesting to me because looking at star charts, I noticed that this crossing point in Sagittarius, Scorpio region, is exactly where the galactic center is located. So I started to think that the galactic center might be something that the Maya were aware of. One question that of course came up is how could the Maya be aware of the galactic center? I mean, we tend to assume that this is something that was discovered fairly recently by science with radio astronomy and so on. But when we imagine looking at the Milky Way arching across the sky, our Milky Way is saucer-shaped, and in fact there's a very bright and wide area of the Milky Way in the region of Sagittarius And so I concluded by looking at the Milky Way with just the naked eye alone, one could pretty easily determine that this was an important part of the Milky Way. In fact, given that the Maya mythologized the Milky Way as the great cosmic mother, it would seem a pretty straightforward step to take that to the next level and see that they were looking at the galactic center as the womb, or the creation place of the sky, because that's pretty much what it looks like. It's very bright and very wide. It's called the nuclear bulge. Astrophysicists recognize that this is the area of the Milky Way out of which everything in our galaxy, including us, has come.
The calendar advances. Galactic forces move into alignment. The Mayan prophecy approaches. In the aftermath of downfall, a new order emerges. In fact, the Mayan calendar does suggest that after the year 2012, a new age might emerge. What this would be like is not clear. After 2012, Katun 2 is due to come around once more. Perhaps its prophecy, as recorded by Chalam Balam, offers a clue of what to expect. For half there will be food, for others misfortunes. A time of the end of the word of God. A time for uniting for a cause.
Although the outline of the galaxy's spiral arm is visible to the naked eye, the galactic center itself is hidden from view. The galactic center only becomes visible during a galactic core outburst. Even with the aid of optical telescopes, the center of the galaxy cannot be seen directly due to the dense clouds of cosmic dust that concentrate along the galaxy's equatorial plane. Even though we can't see the center of the galaxy, apparently the authors of the zodiac knew of its location. The signs for each of the 12 constellations have been around since ancient times. The glyphs for Scorpio and Sagittarius are the only ones among the zodiacal signs to incorporate arrows, and both are adjacent in sequence. When arranged to reflect the way these constellations actually appear in the sky, these two arrows or pointers are seen to face one another, as if they were indicating some position in the sky. In fact, they appear to be intentionally pointing out the location of galactic center. It may, therefore, be far from coincidental that amongst the ancient characters assigned to play specific roles in the zodiac, that the sign Sagittarius is portrayed as an archer. And he is aiming his arrow almost directly at galactic center. We also find that the tail of the scorpion is very near galactic center. In fact, two of the stars that make up the scorpion's tail, Lambda Scorpio and Upsilon Scorpio, are named Shala and Lisath in Arabian star charts. Both of these mean the sting. When lines are added to connect these three tail stars with the galactic center, Scorpio takes on the shape of an upward arching arrow. Since the galactic center can at times release lethal outbursts of cosmic ray particles, such deadly symbolism is quite appropriate. However, the archer in Sagittarius is not pointing his arrow directly at the center of our galaxy. If we lead a trajectory in the direction that Sagittarius is presently aiming his arrow, we find that it misses the galactic center by 2.5 degrees of longitude. Using a computer-aided star map, we can see that there was a time when Sagittarius aimed his arrow much closer to the center of our galaxy. Looking at the position of these stars as they were in earlier times, we find that Sagittarius was aiming directly at the heart of the Scorpion about 16,000 years ago, or about 14,000 BC.